Thanks.
It's a nice looking medal there.
Thanks.
Gabby, you've got Billie Jean King Cup championship, Grand Slam titles. How does an Olympic medal compare or fit into those other incredible tennis accomplishments of yours?
Well, it's definitely been the most recognizable, I would say, so far. It's the thing that people see it and they're kind of like, whoa. But for me, more personally, I mean, it means so much because the Olympics has always been something that I hold in such high regard, and to actually get a medal it really is like fulfilling a childhood dream. So, yeah, I mean, it's certainly up there. It's obviously hard to rank different results because, they're all so different. Like Billie Jean King Cup, winning with the whole team was so much fun because it was all of us together. US Open with Erin was really special because of who we had around us and certain things that we improved upon that week that we'd probably never done in our whole careers. So it made it a little bit more special in terms of like tennis growth, I would say. And then this accomplishment, I mean, I want to say it like it's the best one, but at the same time, I feel like the people who have been part of my journey, not everyone was there. So I feel like if everyone was there, maybe it would feel like it was something that would take the cake in terms of a result. But yeah, it was very, very different. Also, just the Olympic experience was different, not staying in the village. So in a small sense, it felt like another tennis tournament. So yeah, it's just really hard to rank them because they're all so different, but this one is certainly incredibly special, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to fight for it.
Have you put the medal down much since you got it, or is it staying close at hand for the
No,
time being?
I put it down. It's really heavy. It is, honestly. So, yeah, I put it down, and if anyone wants to see it, I just pass it to them, and I don't mind sharing. It's fine.
Talking about playing like Billie Jean King Cup and Olympics, how well you play for your country. Obviously, this is just back to being a normal tour event, but how do you channel that kind of emotion of playing for your country when you're playing here in Canada on tour?
Well, I think, when we talk about, I said this in the press conference after Felix and I won, but it's like, what does playing for your country really mean? Because I feel like it's quite a generic thing that sounds very just patriotic, but it's like so much more than that because of the country that I grew up in and the values that Canada stands for. I find it very easy to represent Canada because a lot of the things that Canada brings to someone's life are the things that I think are really important. And so in terms of like channeling the energy, it's like pretty easy, I guess, because this is the next tournament right after. And so in a way, it's kind of fortunate because you can kind of ride that high amongst a lot of the excitement that's still there, which is pretty special, to be honest. And especially in Ontario, which is really cool, obviously, me being an Ottawa girl. And yeah, so I think, I mean, in a sense, we keep going. It's back to business. I have my routines. I have training and things that need to get done, and I can't, lose focus for too long, for sure. So we're just kind of getting right back at it, but really happy of the timing of things, and hopefully, yeah, the energy carries itself.
You're coming in after a couple of really strong months. You had 3 finals in the grass, now the Olympics. Where's the confidence level right now coming into the hardcourt season, especially with the US Open coming up?
Yeah, I mean, I think I try to look at it more as just things that I'm constantly working on. I try to not think too much about confidence because I think it can be so fleeting. If one bad thing happens and derails you, sometimes you might lose confidence. So it's actually more about where I can continuously grow in my game, and with me and Erin as a doubles team. And I mean, even later today, we're rewatching our Wimbledon final because we haven't had a chance to do that yet. So we're going to look at ways that we can improve upon that and look at some of our stats and see what we need to do better or what we need to keep doing. So I try to approach it very much from like a process standpoint. So yeah, I mean, obviously I'm feeling quite good, but now I've played grass to clay to hard. So that's also a transition in itself. So hopefully, I mean, I'm very happy to be on hard court. I much prefer the ground not moving under my feet. So yeah.
How do you manage the expectations of playing well at home with the natural pressure that comes with it?
Yeah, obviously want to make everyone proud and obviously want to continue riding the wave of good results, but at the same time, sport is unpredictable and, if we falter a little bit and a team is playing very well, we're in a position now with our rankings where everyone is gunning for us and we're pretty aware of that. So I think there are a lot of things that have to get done to stay at the top, and one of those things is to kind of stay very present. I think if we get too ahead of ourselves or too worried about what people think, then that's kind of when trouble comes. So I think for us as a team, as well as individual players, it will just be important to come back to our process and remember the things that we're working on and try to keep it simple in that sense.
I want to ask you a little bit about the partnership with Aaron. And it's normal for doubles players to go through multiple partners in their career, and you're always looking for someone you think you're going to click with. Did you have any idea last summer when you two teamed up that it could be anywhere near this successful and that you would jive so well between the two of you? I mean, she's the #1 doubles player in the world now. You're right up there too. This is best case scenario, I take it, for both of you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's hard to know how anything is going to pan out. A year ago, just over a year ago now, I was in a position where I didn't have a steady partner, and so I had to kind of decide, do I want to play with someone who plays predominantly doubles, who's focused on the same things as me, or do I want to play maybe with a more singles-focused partner who has a different skill set, see how our games mesh, but with the risk, of course, of potentially, them prioritizing singles over doubles, not having someone to practice with, maybe not someone who's as aligned in the way that I see the doubles court. And so with Aaron, we actually had a really nice conversation just after Wimbledon where we kind of went through the things that we value, with coaching team, with scheduling, with how we want to practice. And slowly we got to get to know each other better and know what makes the other tick on the court, how we can communicate with each other when things don't go well. And that's been like a total learning curve even up till now. We still don't have perfect communication, but we definitely try our best. And I think coming to every practice and coming to every match with as much of an open mind as we can has definitely helped us. And we've had some really amazing people around us kind of guiding us through that as well. It's really hard to do it on your own. So yeah, I mean, it's everything is a learning curve, really. And I've been, I'm really grateful that Aaron and I shared similar values and that we kind of wanted to both put the work in together, because that's not always something that's a given.
And then how about playing with someone a little bit more singles focused, like at the Olympics with Felix? And yes, you two have played together in the past, but again, this is the greatest result we've seen from both of you. What was that dynamic like as you're starting to evolve that partnership in a short amount of time and on a surface that maybe isn't the favorite surface for both of you? And in particular in that bronze medal match, as things were getting a little dicey in that second set, what did you say? What were those conversations like between the two of you to get back on track and finish things off?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Felix being a singles-focused player, he brings a different skill set to the court, but he was playing very well. I mean, he had that really great match against Casper Ruud. I think that really showed his level against, someone who's done so well at Roland Garros before. And so I knew that he was confident in his game and how he was playing, and so it was kind of a matter of a slight adaptation for both of us to how we might normally both play doubles. There were a couple times, more because I think it was clay necessarily than who I was playing with, but there were some times where I couldn't be as aggressive at the net as I wanted to, and I had to be at the back and kind of manage some ground strokes a little bit more. And there were times where he had to be more aggressive at the net, which is maybe, he likes to grind someone down from the back. So there were definitely some adaptations, but there was a balance between like the experience that I have in doubles versus the confidence he was bringing from singles, and so trying to mesh the two together. But we did quite well, and then in our bronze medal match, yeah, when things started to get dicey, I think we just tried to keep trusting that we were trying to do the right things, and obviously when you're up a set in 3-love, the opponents are going to play better. They're going to relax. Any nerves that they had before are going to go away because at that point they have nothing to lose. And Demi Shores, I've always thought, is one of the best players when she's down to come back. So that's something that I know even when I play her in women's doubles. When you're ahead, expect her to play her best tennis. And she did. And she was carrying that team for a few games, I thought. And so luckily, though, I mean, we were able to keep it close in the games. It's not like they ran away with it and then the momentum changed and we go into a super breaker. In that second set breaker, I think we started out very well and won a couple key points playing our game. And luckily that was enough and the match went in our favor.